Good evening, and today we're going to discuss the strategic communication plan as it relates to Christa McCullough Middle School and how it supports this organization's mission statement and vision. Christa McCullough's mission statement states, it says, believing that each student is unique and capable of learning. Our mission at Christa McCullough Middle School is to provide quality instruction in a caring environment that fosters success for the whole child. We are committed to enhancing life skills, meeting individual differences, and building self-esteem. Now, the vision says the Fort Bend ISD continuously improves teaching and learning by developing effective staff and building capable systems. And then, of course, our whole Fort Bend ISD mission altogether is Fort Bend ISD exists to inspire, equip all students to pursue futures beyond what they can imagine. And of course, as we click on over to the goals and values, we see that our goals and values for Christa McCullough as a whole is to increase student achievement, to increase staff awareness for student safety, and to create an environment that fosters a culture of kindness within the student body. Now, a strategic communication plan is highly needed with supporting the mission statement and vision, and of course the goals and values. It has to be clear when communicating to those different staff members in the organization. You don't want a distortion. You don't want messages to be misconstrued. You don't want your overall mission to even be misunderstood. You want it to be clear and concise and what exactly it is you're talking about. As we go into our communication strategy, our objectives, clicking over to the next, our objectives are, of course, increase student achievement, increase staff awareness, when you say increase student achievement, we're talking about i.e. testing scores. We're talking about student achievement point period blank. We want to make sure we're raising their fundamental reading levels so that they're on level and with the district on pacing to where they stand in regards to other students. Increase staff awareness for student safety. We're having some definite issues with student safety. There's been, of course, some things going on with that. Now I'll get into that just a little bit later. And then, of course, the last objective is to create an environment that fosters a culture of kindness within the student body. The themes, we're going to incorporate strategies for implementing rigorous and engaging lessons. We're going to follow campus-wide policies and procedures for school foundations. And we're going to encourage students to be kind to one another. So now as we go to the next slide where we'll discuss exactly what our approach is for this communication strategic communication strategy. The approach, we're going to have bi-weekly formal faculty meetings where the top management, which would be i.e. the principals and the leadership team, will talk to the staff about our whole agenda and where it is we're trying to go with these objectives. Informal one-on-one meetings. So in the course of a informal observation to see if these things are being upheld, they might pull you to the side and say, hey, we want to make sure we're looking for this, or we want to make sure we're doing that. Okay, we also have reiteration or reminders utilizing the Hawk News program or the PA system. And then we want to, of course, do encouragement through staff email. Staff email is very important. We get a lot of messages per day in regards to that. So you want to make sure we're checking emails to make sure that we are staying abreast to any updates or just, any nudges to things that we might see. We also want to utilize our Hawk Foundations team as progress monitors and serve as two-way feedback communication system, and that's very important as well because you need a Hawk team. The administration can't do it all, so we have a Hawk Nation Foundations team here where they serve as that purpose. They're doing the observations to check progress. They're doing data for culture of kindness. The data that they're using is to see, okay, if we're creating a culture of kindness, some things should be diminished. So the number of fights we have per day or per week or even per month or per school year should definitely diminish in that. So they'll be using data to to check our progress on how we're doing with this, even with student achievement as well. So we're going to be looking at last year's data for student achievement as far on the STAR test and any district assessments or things like that, just to see where we are and how we're raising our scores in that regard. If we go on to the next slide here, we'll talk about our stages. So the initial stage, of course, we're going to discuss the overview of the current state of climate culture, student achievement, and campus safety. We're going to also forecast a future vision for that climate culture, student achievement, and campus safety. Then we're going to do a call to action. This is where we stress the need for 100% participation and petition for commitment so that we can ultimately move into that future forecasted vision that we want. Okay. Then we also want to stress the importance of teamwork and how it relates to CMMS success, because as we've done this, we know that we need 100% teamwork to make this happen, because it has to be uniformed across campus with all the different procedures to make sure that we have a higher rate of success. The middle stage, because this is where we'll come together, and middle management and leadership teams will discuss our project progress. We'll discuss our findings from those data charts and those things that we've put together to manage progress. And then we'll do a SWOT analysis. This is your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and and also threats. Okay, that's very important that we discuss these things to make sure we work together in a cohesive group to make sure we step up our performance and just make sure we're meeting the goals that we set. Then, of course, with ongoing, of course, we'll stress the importance of following commitments to the call to action with fidelity. If you're going to commit to something, it's imperative that you implement all of your energy into making sure that we do everything that we can to make sure that it works. And then we're going to, of course, continue to manage progress. You won't know if you have made some headway unless you're taking a step back to look at your progress and compare it to those goals and find out where we fall on that chart. And then we'll continue to look for ways to improve the process. No process is ever perfect. Of course, there's always ways to improve it. And so as a group, you guys should be looking to make sure that you have covered all your bases and ways to improve it and steadily look for opportunities to make your processes better. Thank you.